A lot of people think that scaling a business looks like this. You get busy, so you hire. And I thought that too. I remember being in that phase where my days were full with client work, with promotions, with messages, with calls. And I kept thinking that if I just get help, this will finally get easier. And so I hired. And it felt really good, but only for 2 days. I thought my calendar was going to free up, but my days got full quickly again, just differently. Instead of doing the work, I was now reviewing it, I was answering questions, I was making the decisions on everything. So that's where it clicked for me. I hadn't really created capacity, I had just changed the type of work that I was doing. So, this is where most business owners get stuck as well because they think that I've hired, so I should have space. But in reality, if everything is still flowing through you, you don't actually have capacity yet because you haven't created a sustainable system for growth without you. So, this is where the shift needs to really happen because scaling isn't about hiring, it is about really operating differently. So, let me break this down for you into 3 shifts. The first shift is from doing to letting go. This is the first place that I see most people get stuck. So, you think you've stepped back because you're not doing the work anymore, but what's actually happening is that you've become the decision maker for everything. Your staff will often ask, "Can you check this? What should we do here? Is this okay?" And they don't really feel like big things because they're just small little decisions, but they keep you involved in everything. And every little productivity zone that you have, they're taking you out of there. They are stopping you in between and forcing you to decide for something else. So the real shift here is this. It is not just about removing tasks from your plate. It's also about removing yourself from those decisions so that you have to make less decisions on an everyday basis. So, this doesn't mean that you disappear. It means that you just start being really intentional. What actually requires your level of thinking and what doesn't. Because there's so many decisions in your business that do not need your CEO brain. So let your team make those decisions. So the shift here is that you start allowing your team to decide and move forward. You give them the space, the context, and the confidence to move forward with things without having to come back to you every time. Because removing yourself from those everyday decisions, that's going to start creating the capacity to grow your business. And that brings me to the second shift. Instead of hiring for seeking help, hire to seek ownership. Now, most people actually hire for help, and I don't blame them. I did that too. In the beginning, there was just too much to do, and I went more like, well, just take this off my plate, support me with this. But help kept me in the center. Because if something needs more thinking, more ideas, then it still came back to me. So the shift here is moving from seeking help to seeking ownership. You want to start bringing in people who can actually take things forward. People who don't just execute, but they think, they decide, and they improve. So as an owner, you're now going to make a conscious choice. Instead of looking for the easiest or cheapest hire, you will be looking for people who are really strong in that area. People who might even be better than you are at something. So, for example, if you have a social media person or a copywriting person who is even better than you at doing their job, think about it. What an asset it is to have them running your business because now you don't have to hold everything. You don't have to think about every post or every line that goes in the captions. You can just hand it over. So the goal here is not to be involved in everything. It is basically that as a business owner, you create space so that you can move more and more into your place of genius. This is where you are guiding and building your business strategy and vision, and you're not running every small piece of it. Now, that brings me to the third and final shift. And this one is from being busy to creating capacity. This is actually the most fundamental one because this is the shift that actually gets you to expansive business growth. In the beginning, as you're getting your first clients and you're really figuring out what your business is actually doing, it was being busy that got you here because you did everything. You said yes and you figured things out as you went because that was necessary. That was the mindset that got you here to this stage. But this mindset is not going to take you forward and scale your business forward to a place where it is not fully dependent on you. Because if your calendar is full, you don't have the space to grow. Ideally, you want at least 30 or 40% of your calendar free, just white space, nothing. Because in that nothingness, that is where business growth actually happens. This is where you actually think about your business, you build partnerships, you explore new opportunities, and you improve what's already working. So if you are fully booked, you're just maintaining, you are not scaling. And this is the shift from operator mindset to scaling mindset. An operator mindset just fills their time, but a leader creates space to grow the business. And you want to be the leader to scale your business. So before you go and hire more people to scale your business, you want to look at these three things as we talked about. You want to see are decisions still coming back to you because you want to hire people where you can actually delegate the decisions. You don't want to hire for help, you want to hire for ownership. And then you want to create capacity in your calendar because you want to operate in your zone of genius while your team carries on the business without it depending on you. Because if these fundamentals are not in place, hiring is not going to make business growth easy. So now, if you're listening to this and you can see that your business still depends on you, then this is exactly the kind of thing that I help people fix. Book a sales audit with me. We look at your team, we look at your structure, we look at how things are currently running, and I'll show you exactly where things are still flowing through you and what needs to change to create real capacity and business growth.